Rain or shine, it's here to make you laugh. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. And now your host, Kyle Ruff.
I've never actually seen
Duh.
Oh, dude, it's like
I heard it's one of the better ones.
it's one of the better Fast and Furious movies for sure. And I'm a big fan of Fast and Furious movies,
I like white guys who can speak Japanese.
but they don't.
It's like Last Samurai with Tom Cruise.
Exactly.
The white kid doesn't really speak Japanese though in the whole movie.
No, but he knows Japanese, and that's one of the impressive
doesn't.
values about him.
No,
No?
no, he's from the South and gets moved to Japan because his mom puts him in the with his dad. 'Cause he's in the Navy.
I'm thinking of Hellboy. Sorry.
Oh, what?
Welcome to the Steamboat Comedy Podcast, everybody. My name is Kyle Ruff. I'll be your host yet again, and I am joined to my right by Mr. Jared Morrill.
What's going on, people?
And I am joined to my left by Mr. Reed Belmonte.
Holy shit, Kit Kats.
Yeah, you can have one.
Oh my
God.
Oh,
Halloween
no.
is upon us, ladies and gentlemen.
I love
He brought
Halloween.
one for me, but since I'm fat, I'm not gonna eat that.
I'll take yours. I'm fat.
All right, well, glad to be joined by you gentlemen, and we're going to be talking about our recent show, Comedy in the Park 3.
Woo!
Just today is what? Today's Monday. Just 2 days ago on Saturday. Great time. We really appreciate everyone who came out and appreciate the Yampa River Botanic Park for helping us out. I mean, I was talking with her. We're probably not going to be able to do another one before the end of the year, before it gets
Yeah, I
cold.
mean it's gonna be cold. It's supposed to snow next Monday.
That'd be some pretty
Really?
badass
Yeah.
hardcore
Jesus.
shit out of Steamboat, though. Be like, we'll come in our parkas and shit.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
That'd be
dude,
super
I'd wear
awesome.
my brand new bibs on stage, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I was gonna buy a pair of those.
Dude,
They're
buy
awesome.
'em.
What was it? The Vertica?
Vertica or Vertica? I'm still not sure how you say
Vertica.
it.
Hot schnapps and jokes, dude.
Oh
Can't
man,
beat it.
that we'd sell that.
Dude.
We
Yeah,
could
that'd be
sell.
awesome.
We actually could sell that. Can you drink booze in the Botanic?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, then we could sell that.
yeah. Remember
Oh,
we
yeah.
were all drinking.
Yeah,
when we
that's
were there.
I wasn't drinking last time. I'm off the booze right now.
But you were drinking the time before that.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Probably because you were drinking.
No.
No. Anywho, yes, it was a great time. We really appreciate those guys. Last I was talking with Jennifer McNeil. Shout out to Jennifer McNeil.
Woo.
Big fan of the show. I'm sure she doesn't listen, but she's the director down there, and she was like, "Yeah, this is great." And she's like, "Well, I mean, next summer, assuming that the world isn't over and things
bullshit,
are relatively
yeah.
normal, yeah." But she's like, "You guys, like, we should just do this
All the time.
all the time." I was like, "Yeah." Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even talking with guys like Pat Trower, our headliner, shout out to Pat Trower, and Mark Masters, who made the trip up. Shout out to Mark Masters, Vail Comedy. They were both like, dude, this is like the best setting. Like, it's so awesome. Such a unique experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those, I mean,
It's
for
so
those who
perfect,
couldn't
man.
make it, I'm going to have video up of this next one probably tomorrow of this last show. But I've got video up of the last two shows.
Yeah.
And you can see it. The setting is just
backdrop is-
amazing.
The backdrop is amazing.
It's incredible.
Like, I wish we had like pictures of everyone wider shot.
Yeah.
And then like actually get all the leaves in the back and everything, especially right now because
Dude, the
everything's
colors changing too. Like,
Oh, it's beautiful,
so
man.
awesome.
I like the ambient people walking in the background in the video.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It really adds to
I
it.
do think that is funny.
Well, that was
Especially
in
the
the-
married couple, too. Like,
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
Wedding
yeah.
photos. And then
Yeah.
in the first one, you remember that little girl who came up and was talking to Pat at the end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
This like 6-year-old girl just like walks up to the stage and is like, "Hi," and he's like, "How are you, young lady?" And he like interviews her for a second.
Oh,
It was so funny. I had to read all of the policies on whether or not I can put up a video with children in it on YouTube.
Because Miles was talking about his balls 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, right. Talking about his dog getting that ass.
Right.
Yeah, so I figured we'd just kind of have a little chat and see how you guys thought it went in your own sets. We just watched our own sets a
Yep.
minute ago. And then also just kind of briefly go over how we thought the whole day went. So, yeah, I don't know who. Jared hosted the second show. I hosted the
Yep.
first show, and Jared gave it a shot hosting for the first time. What'd you think?
It was honestly, it was a great experience for sure. I wasn't great at it. I think I was nervous as hell. You guys saw me. I mean, dude, I freaked out at you. Sorry, by the way, sorry about the whole Red Bull thing. I freaked out about that. I was like, I need caffeine. I'm fucking falling asleep. Like, I was so nervous. I like freaked out for a second because I didn't have caffeine.
Oh, we're gonna refresh everybody for a second.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that.
If there was any evidence that Jared may have been on edge, it's when he came over and he goes, "Where's my Red Bull?" And being the nice steamboat comedian that I am, I was picking up trash in the middle of the show, and I took a bunch of empty cans over there, and his Red Bull happened to be on the ground sideways with like just a little bit left in it. I was just like, oh, well, I picked it up, I put it in the recycling, I come back, and Jared's just like, where's my Red Bull? I was like, oh, there was just like this tiny bit left. Like I was just taking out garbage. He's just like, are you kidding me, man? That was like that was gonna be my last little oomph. I don't need much caffeine. All I need is just this little guy, and then that's perfect. You took that away from me. I was just like, oh.
Dude, I was so on edge.
And I was like, why don't you just have something else? You're just like, forget it. And then I tried to make you feel better a little bit. I was just like, if it makes you feel any better, my set was garbage in my eyes. And you just rolled your eyes.
Yeah, because you're wrong and it wasn't a garbage set.
Yeah, you said
we'll discuss that.
Yeah, we'll
in a
get
sec.
into that. But yeah, starting with you.
Essentially, yeah. Hosting was cool. I really enjoyed it. I think I could have done better for sure. More energy. Definitely not repeating the same thing after every single person.
Real funny guy.
Well, no, yeah, but it was always, hey, let's keep this rolling. After every single person, I was like, ugh. Yeah. Otherwise, now, like originally when I did my set though, I like after I got off stage, I was like, that was so bad. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever done. And it's not. After rewatching it, I was like, actually, it was the quick-witted parts.
Yeah.
When I just keeping it rolling. Oh, God damn it. But when I knew a joke wasn't working, making fun of it or like those little in betweens I think really helped. Otherwise, I missed a lot of punchlines.
That's kind of what saved you is just
big time.
Your ability to kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
But that whole set, and this is part of busting out new material.
Yeah.
And also part of hosting because you don't have any kind of momentum to go off of, so it's kind of like dry.
Yeah, it's literally you're the dry run for the show.
Yeah, like you gotta bring it from nothing to where you want it to be.
Yeah, and like in no time.
Yeah, but I mean, it just needed to be a little tighter. I think is what your main thing was.
Do you think you would have done better if you weren't hosting?
Yes, hands down.
Because I noticed the same thing with Kyle, where I'll watch him host and do a set in the first show, and the second show, when all he's doing is performing, like he actually can just give like at least 5 fucking minutes just to like go over the shit, and he just nails it every time.
Yeah.
So the whole time when I was watching you hosting, I was like, honestly, like it's a good face for Steamboat Comedy because you love this and you're very comfortable up there. And you have a great way of explaining everybody, but. Yeah, I couldn't help but to think, like, if you weren't doing that, you would have nailed absolutely everything. Yeah. But, like, I swear the next time you're going to host, you're going to be thinking about all this anyway, so.
Yeah.
It's just like anything, you just got to do it. You got to practice.
Yeah.
That's where you get better at it.
I was just so nerved up that, like, I couldn't remember I was so nerved up about hosting, not even my set. I was more nerved up about what I was going to say in between people. Mm-hmm. For some reason. That was, like, my focus. And it didn't need to be. I should have just been like, "What's my set? What's my set?" I read it right before. I read my notes and everything right before I went up, and just I don't know. I forgot so much stuff.
Yeah, like we were just watching it, and we had done like the garage sesh before going over your material. Yeah, there's definitely a lot that was kind of left on the table or not on the table. I don't know how.
Not on the table.
Yes, a lot that was left out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a shame, but like I said, you did a really good job, kind of like recovering and being like, okay, like I thought that was funny or whatever, like those kind of lines, you know.
Yeah, just throwing something in there.
Yeah, like with the Adderall bit didn't really bite, and then you're just like, oh come on,
like it's not real.
Yeah, like it's not real, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest laughs I got were actually on those like, kind of recovery moments.
Yeah.
Which I think that's good practice though too.
Yeah. And again, as a host, you're supposed to be the mind for the audience too. So if you do something ridiculous, you have to say, "Isn't that fucking ridiculous?" Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah, one with the crowd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Reed Belmonte did 5 minutes in the first show.
Yeah.
And it was
I don't know why you're so hard on yourself.
I don't know why
man.
you're so hard on yourself
Well,
either.
and so
The
I
second part was not quite as tight as it could have been. The Midwest dad joke, but the crowd work in the beginning was spot on, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
and for the first time doing it, it honestly was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
was.
man.
I was incredibly hard on myself after my set. I
Still
was really
Still doing it.
Hey, fuck you. We're all our worst critics.
True.
Yeah, I felt really bad about it, but at the same time though, like I just had to remember, like, you know, one, that was the first time I was doing crowd work and everything, and that was the funnest part of it. But at the end of the day, I was more upset about the fact that I forgot like one single joke and at least 3 different parts of another joke.
Yeah.
And I'm getting beat up about it. But Drew, shout out to that magnificent Santa.
Drew McElhaney.
Drew's killing it.
Drew reminded me, he was just like, "Do you think they were there sitting with you and writing, Reed?
Yeah.
They don't know that you forgot the jokes. They saw the set that you gave."
Yeah,
Yeah,
they laughed
exactly.
at what you gave them, and they
So-
won't know what they didn't hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it really goes to show that shout out to Kyle for, you know, making us practice and everything. When you go back and look at your own set, I was upset over this for like 2 fucking days, and then I went back and watched it. I was just like, okay, like, I get it. Like, it wasn't that bad. I took it really personally because, I mean, we can't help it. I mean, we put a lot of fucking hard heart into this,
Yeah.
only to go up for 5 minutes and just go, oh, great, there goes my whole week.
I mean, you really like bare your soul. I mean, that's why
Yeah.
doing comedy is so scary for your average person, because they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like just putting it all out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
so,
isn't,
yeah, if it doesn't go well, obviously it's gonna hurt.
isn't
you know?
that the fun of it though?
Yeah.
Like, oh, man.
Well, a
the-
rush,
It's,
man.
it's a it's the risk
Just
with the
hoping.
reward. When you bomb, you want to just do better because it was so awful.
Yeah.
And then when you do great, like my dick is to the moon. Like, oh
Yeah,
my
That's
god,
the best.
holy shit.
Yeah, I was like riding a high. Like after the show, I was feeling really good about my second set, especially. And Kendra
Yeah.
was like, "Let's go to like where'd you want to go? Oh, Dude and Dan's and play
Yeah.
pool." And I was like, "Dude, I just want to like sit and like let the adrenaline kind of like
Just settle.
just try to relax a
Yeah,
little bit
settle.
because I was running so high all day from running around for the show and everything like that." And,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought your set was great, bud. I really liked that.
Yeah,
thank
dude. It was a good set. I don't think you should be as hard on yourself. Like you
I,
said,
I
we
try
are,
to do Midwest material because I'm a product of my goddamn environment, you know, right?
Yeah.
What you know.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's true.
for sure.
And like I said, the Midwest dads bit, the second bit, could it have been a little tighter? Yeah, but like, did you eat shit? Absolutely not.
No, not
you
at
know?
all.
I mean, this is every time you do it is you get better. You find ways to get better. And like I said, we talked about whatever could have been different and things like that. And I thought it was great.
I concur.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
You guys are just liars.
What about you, Kyle?
You
What
want
do
to talk
think
about somebody who fucking killed it? Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, bud. Yeah, no, I thought so I hosted the first show, and then Jared took a crack at hosting the second one. So I did the same bit, but I did it in like the feature spot before Pat, which is just really nice. It's just nice to like not host
Yeah.
sometimes. But
Well, and that's part of why I wanted to host too. I was like, well, you know, like you do it fucking all the time. I was like, I'll try and give you a little rest.
Yeah.
Like,
and I
I'll-
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just like right before the podcast, I was saying, like, I want to host soon just to get this trial by fire and see what this feels like to be like, oh, I have to do a set and I have responsibility.
yeah.
That's nice. It's fun. So I mean, like Newland hosted one of the open mics at the press.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and
Somebody hosted when you were out of town once. Was it you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Oh,
hosted an
I
open
an
mic. But as far as like the big shows, I guess Drew hosts whenever they're at the Chief.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've never hosted at the Chief. I just did spots there, I guess, for like New Year's Eve he hosted, and then I guess what's his name? DeNova.
Oh,
hosted the
yeah,
first show
Mike.
there. Mike DeNova.
Mike
yeah.
Nova.
But yeah, I mean, there's things I like about. I really like the hosting part of hosting. What I
But
hate is
not-
going first.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Nobody likes going
It
first.
sucks. It's just like there's no like momentum to like build off of. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude, it's
Yeah.
rough.
It's like literally like everyone was just standing there and now I'm talking. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of like people are mingling. You're like, hey guys, and then you just see everyone kind of like turn and look, and then it's just like, and yeah. you're like,
Oh, dude.
Anyways.
And then it's like a completely other level when you were trying to host at Brauhaus.
Oh God. Well, I mean,
my god!
there's
It's
been a
just like
few
in
where
a basement of like,
like, guys,
dudes.
guys.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. Well, that was like the first time we did the press. I don't know if you remember this.
Oh, when everyone was there.
Yeah, like 1,000 people
And-
showed up, and
and
they were
none
all
of
just
the-
like talking to each other.
Yeah, and none of the levels were right for the speakers.
No, yeah,
Oh.
I was just like shouting at a mass of people.
The first three people to go up, you couldn't hear.
Yeah,
I think it got fixed actually right before I went up,
yeah,
and I was like, God, I hope they fucking hear this.
yeah. That was wild. That was the most like. It was like literally like no one was listening, and I heard someone because like a bunch of people had their friends, and the explanation I got was like, oh, a bunch of people who hadn't seen each other in a while all showed up at the same time, and they're all like, hey, oh my God, good to see you.
Well,
And it
no.
was like, well, I'm like, hey guys, welcome to the press.
It was that, and on top of that,
Mm.
there was a bunch of like people that I saw in that crowd, and I was like, "You're a degenerate. You're a degenerate." Like, I was like, "This is a fucking bar full of degens right now." I was like, "No one's gonna listen to this."
Yeah. Which I mean, that's how it goes, you know.
Yeah,
part of
I
it,
mean,
dude.
I'm not. I was after that first open mic there. I was like, "Oh, we have to do it here."
I know.
But then
And
they
then
got
the second
better.
one was like perfect.
They kept getting better, and I was like, "All right, this is
Yeah.
actually pretty cool."
After the first time I did it, I was like, I think I made a mistake. We should not have done it.
Yeah.
And then like after that, it was great every time. There's really just that one outlier every time.
Yeah.
But no, I felt really good about my set, except especially in the second one. But they were both pretty good. I think the energy, especially because of the spot, was just better in the second one.
What?
Go on. But yeah, it was great. And like we were kind of talking to, like what I've been trying to focus on is now that I know a lot of this material, just trying to do it, but like sharper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, getting those 30-second laughs out, just like
Yes.
or less than for that matter.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah, keeping the pacing tight and keeping out the like ums and like that kind of thing.
That and I like the fact that we did just watch our sets back, and I think it was Corey that said to us, like, you know,
yeah,
I think we mentioned it plenty of times in this podcast, but if you have 30 seconds without laughter, you got to cut something.
Yeah.
Something's
it's
got to
gotta
go.
be continuous.
Or it better be the greatest fucking story on the planet.
Right, like you need to have a fucking killer punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, and that's I a lot of that was just. It was just the pacing was good, and it was
Yeah.
because I was trying to fuck around less and be more like to the point of what I was trying to
yeah.
do. So
Dude,
good.
side note, if you guys have ever seen the movie A River Runs Through It, that's the greatest writing lesson that his dad gives to his sons. He'll accept an essay, and it'll be like, okay, do it again, half as long. And he'll come back 2 days later. He'll say, do it again, half as long.
Mm-hmm.
And then a day he comes back after being frustrated and getting a headache over it. He goes, do it again, half as long. And he finally brings it back to him after the week's over. He goes, good, now throw it away.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's exact same shit, dude.
Yep.
Like, as soon as we think we get good laughs, it's like, no, we can make it tighter. So
We can make it.
substitute
yeah.
more
How can I
laughs.
make this funnier?
Just
Yeah.
like we were talking about with Jared's bit, where his idea for this bit is making fun of, you know, for those of you who didn't see the show, Jared's comparing how ridiculous the word suffering is.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Can you explain the joke?
Yeah, so the idea of the joke is that, like, people always say, like, oh, I'm suffering, and it's always something
it's
minuscule.
like I suffer from ADD.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, fuck off.
Like, do you
Like,
suffer,
Yeah, do you suffer?
Or I suffer from...
or do you
Yeah.
have ADD,
Or-
and it's
yeah.
inconvenient?
Like, and the way I frame that joke is I'm like, oh, yeah, that's insulting to the leper who loses a knuckle
Like
getting his
someone
nail.
who has elephantitis and is
Yeah,
actually
someone
suffering.
who actually suffers,
Yeah.
like
Right.
agony.
Right, and what we figured out was there is so much, like, the launch pad has even been set for the amount of analogies and jokes that can come out of that.
Yeah.
But we recognize that your setup itself,
It's just too long.
in the time that it took you to do that, you could have fit in like 3 jokes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is
Yeah.
all about just fitting. It is a game of numbers in timing.
Well, it's like it's fucking weird Tetris with words.
Yeah,
Like, seriously.
mm-hmm.
It's
That's comedy.
Yeah.
Tetris with words.
Only not
Comedy.
with his cool, not with his cool music as Tetris.
Duh, the Tetris music so cool.
You think the guy who wrote that was just like, ugh. Just like hitting keys. He's like,
Is
we
this
good?
Yeah. Am I still doing this?
Man, that's amazing. It's like I'm not fucking doing anything.
It's like I just fell over on my
Squares
keyboard.
going into squares. I'm gonna start smashing my face into these keys. Just ding, ding, ding.
It's like, I hate my life. I wanted to be a rock star.
Then they're like, all right, thanks, Earl. Come back in 2 years for Tetris 3D.
Every song is just a metaphor for a Nicolas Cage movie. It's like, this shouldn't be existing.
The song is called Con Air.
Next.
How about The Weatherman?
I forgot about
Hey,
next.
shut up. The Weatherman's awesome.
Drive Angry.
Not awesome.
National Treasure 2.
None of the National Treasure.
Whoa,
movies are good.
bro. The first one was good.
How many? Wait, is there more than 2?
There's 2.
Still.
There
I've only
should-
seen the first one.
There's going to be 5. I'm
Actually,
sure.
Yeah, right?
know what? No, it's funny. I credit that movie to me passing 5th grade social studies. Because that's when we learned about the Revolutionary War and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear to God, that movie gave me so much information. I was like, I know the answer to that. And Miss Shea was like, let me guess, you watch National Treasure again? I'm like, no, yeah.
Yeah.
The last time this document was here, it was being signed. And you're like, whoa. when you're 10.
Oh my God.
Dear Lord, I wonder who signed it.
Just shit that doesn't pertain to the plot. It just is going to go, to people.
History boners.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but Ben Franklin was the guy that actually suggested daylight savings.
I am.
Yeah, I learned that in the movie.
Well, fuck that guy.
Because that's part of the plot. Anyways,
So comedy.
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 Going back to Kyle's bit,
mhm.
you did the Native American joke again.
Yeah, I dusted that one off. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling about that joke?
Like we were kind of talking before. The premise of the joke is that the only way you're surprised if you're going bald is if like no one in your family is going bald, and that's only if you're like adopted.
Yeah.
And so the idea is that like some like little white like Woody Allen Jewish male pattern balling kid.
Say Bernie.
Benny.
My brother Benny.
Me and my brother Benny. But they're adopted by like a Native American tribe, and they're all confused because the Native Americans have like long, like beautiful black hair or whatever. And just the twist of them being like Native Americans, it used to get more of a laugh, and it doesn't get as much of a laugh anymore. I think it's kind of it just feels. It's not really like offensive or un-PC. It just kind of feels like it.
It's because you're using the name of a. How do I want to frame that? You're just using a name that I guess is like not taboo, but
Navajo?
yeah, dude. I don't know.
Do you think a different
because
tribe?
and it like anytime I feel like race has been brought up lately in comedy, it just doesn't go over well.
Yeah. Unless you're making fun of white people. That
well-
always plays.
No, you're damn right. I mean, that's why I brought up your joke because, like, you know, you were talking about how it wasn't even the punchline. You just say like the Navajo Nation in a Native American stereotypical voice.
Yeah.
And you used to get laughs for no reason out of that.
Yeah.
And now you don't.
Now there's nothing.
and
Yeah.
it
And
was
it's not
just-
like it's the same people hearing this joke.
Right.
I don't think people really understand not only how hard it is to write comedy, but how hard it is to write comedy right now. And
Yeah.
I
sometimes.
was just side note, I was listening to NPR recently, and I was listening to an interview they had with Sean Cleese, who we all know is the genius behind, you know,
Oh,
Monty
yeah.
Python and
Yes.
A Fish Called Wanda,
Gotta
and just
love
a
it.
genius comedy
Love
writer.
'em.
And
Ministry of Silly Walks.
Oh, it's the
yes,
best.
oh Jesus,
No, do the
Christ.
fish one. The two fish.
Oh, he just walks up and smacks him with a
Yeah.
fish. Dude, Flying Circus is so ridiculous.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Yeah, the greatest mockery of royalty ever. Like
Oh
he's the
my gosh,
greatest.
the best.
He was talking about a very good point when it comes to PC culture and muting jokes and everything right now because he's just had such a long career in it. And he said something so brilliant. He said, when people are unable to control their emotions, they'll try to control other people's behavior.
Yep.
And
Wow.
it's very selfish to society. And when I think of that, I think of a man like Howard Stern, who did a lot of really raunchy, controversial shit on air.
Mm.
And in hindsight, he's like a fucking comedic genius and he created a great platform. But a lot of people, if you remember in the late 90s and early O's, there were these Christian groups and Baptist groups that were
Mm.
dedicating
Oh, yeah.
thousands and thousands of dollars to try to get him off the
Yeah,
air
trying to get him
because
shut
they were
down.
so upset with what he was doing.
Yep.
And he was the only one just sitting back like, is anybody looking at the bigger picture and how fucking ridiculous this is?
Yeah.
If they took all that effort to try to get me off of air, you have any idea what they could actually be doing with this world?
Yeah.
And
You know how much
It just-
magic they could be buying? Yeah.
it's just such a bigger fucking scheme of
Churches.
it. At the end of it, it's just like it's just a fucking joke, and it is literally skydived out of the sky
Yeah.
in 2020. Like it is, we really have to tiptoe. Even sometimes Kyle will do that joke about would the black bear have gotten shot
Oh,
if it was
yeah.
a polar
Well,
bear?
I was gonna say I did that
is
joke.
very mixed sometimes.
So we talked about this. So I guess 2 or 3 episodes ago, the one it was called "Strange Times" of this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
We talked about it because I had just done that joke, which fucking kills here usually.
Yeah.
And it's partially because the premise of the joke is just basically that there's no black people in Steamboat. Like this black bear was like one of the few black guys in Steamboat. And I did that in this online comedy competition and
Oh, yeah.
just got a fucking just a giant
Straight
crickets
man.
silence.
Yeah.
Like to the point where I had to be like, okay. Yeah, you guys remember that.
Yeah.
And so
I
yeah,
watched it
we
live.
we talked about it on that podcast and kind of like the state of comedy right now. It's very strange. But yeah, it seems to play better in Steam. I had to rework because of that. I reworked that bear joke into just being more like I went from being like there's no black people in Steamboat. And there's nothing like wrong with it's not like anything derogatory towards black people, obviously. It's just that there just aren't any in ski towns for whatever reason. That's, neither here nor there. But I basically just reworked that whole bit to be like Steamboat is so white, and then I just make fun of white people. And that always plays.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
crazy.
worth it.
Well, I don't really want to harp too much on the PC stuff because
Yeah.
we already did a podcast about it. I want to talk more just about the show
Fair
Sorry.
enough,
and how it's always no,
Didn't
you
mean
tell
to
me-
get into there.
No, you're okay, bud. But yeah, I thought everybody else did well. Kind of go through the list. So first show I hosted, then Reed went up, did his crowd work bit about the Midwest, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Watching it again, the right off the bat, the big laugh when you were like, where Nebraska is, it's like the Midwest and the Rockies, and you like spread it like it's an ass cheek, and you're like, you live in the butthole, basically.
Basically, yeah, and I
You know
knew
it-
that was coming too because there's a lot of people from Iowa and Nebraska and like that try to pawn this
Yeah,
off
we're
of the
Midwest.
Midwest.
No, you
Like
ain't.
there's just sitting there, just like we don't have a group. Like I want to be part of something. Like basically, Nebraska and Iowa and Kansas are like the color guard of high school. They couldn't really.
You're like, I'm basically a cheerleader. It's like, no,
sure
you're
you
not.
are. No,
Sure.
you think you look
You're a-
like you're from LA, but
You're
you're
a
not.
flag guy.
Yeah.
No, it was a lot of fun. It definitely was. Who was up after
So
me?
after you was I just erased it off of that. Was
I
it
think I have a picture
was
of
it Kaylin?
Kalen was after me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe.
Killed
so.
it.
Hold on,
Kaylin's
I gotta-
always she's so consistent.
For
man.
how nervous she was before the show, she absolutely kicked ass.
she plays it off so well, just kind of being like haha and like laughing at herself.
My favorite thing that she did was remind the crowd that Kyle told her that she had to keep things PG-13. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
carried it through her set instead of doing like a bunch of, swearing and everything. She sugarcoated it and made it sound a lot more PG.
Uh-huh.
And that
lot of
just
heck and
created
frick.
so many tiny little laughs
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God.
I was talking with her earlier today. I met up with her and Miles, and she was saying how like the whole like roundabout thing about how she thinks roundabouts are stupid and they like don't make. She like made that up on the spot.
Oh,
basically.
really?
Yeah. She's just like riffing.
Nice.
It's pretty funny.
I love roundabouts.
I do too. I don't know what the beef with roundabouts is.
That's such an East Coast thing too. Like anywhere in any town, there's like 6 rotaries. We don't
Or-
call them roundabouts or
Or,
rotaries.
or when you go
Rotaries.
to Europe,
yeah. Well, I
it's
mean,
like we've been doing this for 200 years. Like, what do you,
I say Boston is
Idiots.
very based off the old land.
you don't say.
The motherland.
Fuck you, man. Plymouth Rock, bitch.
We're number one.
We're in Massachusetts. We're first, literally.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Virginia was, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, Jamestown wasn't a thing. Whatever.
So after Kaylin was Drew. Drew's awesome.
Yeah.
He gave me a little mini roast too, which was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah, he I think he forgot his set for a second at one point, but other than that, like, I mean, I think he did great.
No, he did great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same thing, kind of like Reed after the show. He's like, man, like I should have been so much better. I forgot this and I forgot that, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, people were still laughing,
Yeah, dude,
man.
people laughing.
Yeah.
That's all that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, spreading the smiles around. And then after him was Drew.
Pat.
Was Pat. Thank you.
Did you just notice what?
I didn't even think about that till now. So I could take a break and just rest my
rest
nose
your
nose right
Schnoz
on the pop
on
filter.
Kyle's gear.
You can always rest your nose on my gear.
Do you have any pillows, Kyle?
Yeah, Pat was up.
Pat's first set, I thought, was probably his stronger of the two. They're both pretty good, though. His crowd work in the first one was really good.
I liked the second one a little better.
You think so? They're
Yeah.
both great sets.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I just found his second set a little funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did one thing that was funny too is he was doing a crowd work about like having crappy bosses.
Oh yeah.
And then our friend Casey, who works for me at Ragnar's,
Oh yeah.
he's like, who here had a bad boss? And she was like, me. He's like, what's your bad boss's name? She's like, Kyle
Kyle
Ruff. And I was like, hi! Like, he yelled at her.
He
Ripped
took
his
off your
shirt
shirt
off.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
took off his shirt.
Well, he was like, well, what? She's like, really? You work for her? Like, yeah. He goes, what's so bad about him? And she's like, he has a Napoleonic complex. And I was like, no, I don't. And I ripped off my shirt. And then the funny thing was, on the way out, this old woman's like, you can take off your shirt anytime you want. And I was like, you're scaring me, lady. You're scaring me, lady.
Oh man.
It was funny, but so that was great. And
Yeah.
then so into the second show, Jared started it off,
Hosted it.
and yeah, we just talked about that.
Yeah, and then after me was Miles.
After he was Miles,
Yeah.
and Miles did pretty well. He cut it kind of short, which
Yeah.
I was kind of bummed about. But actually, no, I think I was like taking a walk, trying to get my mind right for like half of his set. I can't remember what material he did.
Still a funny guy. He kept doing what Pat Truer did at the last show, where he combined asking me how much time he had left with his
yeah.
comedic.
Yeah,
He was just like, "How much time has elapsed, Reed?" I'm like, 2 minutes. He's like,
Well, no,
shit."
he literally like, I think it was after he did like a quick joke in the beginning, and it was like maybe 45 seconds, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Read time," like about 9 minutes, bud.
Oh man. Or like he did a pretty funny bit about posing, doing like the poses on the front of albums for
Oh,
rap
yeah, yeah.
albums. And like he kept doing poses and everything. It's like, Reed, how much time do I have? I was like 8.5 minutes. It goes, oh, I thought that was gonna take up 6.
Oh
Shit.
yeah. He's like, I really like that quick bit. And he's like, I really thought that pose thing was gonna take like 3 minutes. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then see after
Uh,
Schmiles
Spencer.
was the Spence house.
Spencer had the best introduction because he was still fiddling with his camera,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
I'm
so
like,
funny.
I'm sitting there, and I'm like, Spencer.
Yeah.
Hello.
And he just like was completely ignoring you, just like staring at the
well,
camera.
No, he heard me the whole time. That's the thing that pissed me off. Is I was like, I know you can hear me.
He's switching
I know
out
you're paying attention.
he's switching out the battery of a camera.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh no, I understand why, but just be like, hey, 1 sec, like give me some acknowledgement.
Nothing. He
Nothing.
gave
No,
you
I was like,
nothing.
dude. He's like, I had to fiddle with the camera. I was like, okay,
So
get on
he-
stage.
yeah,
He's sitting there like, Spencer, I'm fucking hosting.
Yeah,
like I'm just standing here with my dick out.
yeah.
Anyways,
Everyone's laughing, and I wasn't joking.
yeah, it was funny watching that again too. I like forgot about it. I started laughing again. It was awesome. But he did
He did the full circle.
the full circle, the joke that put Spencer on the map.
My
Yeah.
God, it's great.
It's a great joke about the surveys for working for the mountain.
Yeah,
Some say it's the most important question. That was really good. It's a great set.
Yeah, I do
That
love
one,
that joke
this
so much.
this set and his last one were both just killers.
Yeah.
He's on a great fucking
He's on a
roll
tear.
right now. And then after that was our
Mark.
buddy Mark Masters
Mark
from the
Masters
show.
from-
Mark Masters,
Veil Comedy.
Veil Comedy.
I think Mark had my favorite intro joke, where he said
What did he do?
I've been obsessive with hand sanitizer since
Oh, yeah.
COVID-19, but I'm also a nail biter, so I've been mildly drunk for 5 months.
Yeah,
Oh, he was telling us too. That's like a brand new joke too. Like he just like put that together.
yeah.
Good, because he seemed really excited to go out and give material because he hasn't done anything in
Yeah.
forever as far as like a live crowd. So he seemed pretty excited.
No, he
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah,
And
he definitely had a great set.
I love his joke about not knowing things like the back of his hand. He's like, who knows the back of their hands? This is fucking great. That's a
good.
great
It was a
bit.
good
I don't want to
bit.
give it away. I know
Yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't like his material being out there, but that's an awesome bit. And then I went up, which is the second show. And another thing I like about not hosting, which is actually something you can do while hosting, is I made a little bit about the wedding photos going on in the background.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was pretty legit. Everyone got a chuckle out of that.
yeah, that's a good one. Because it's one of those things too. Like everybody sees this like person in a big wedding dress just walking around the park. You're like, what the fuck is that?
I literally did a double take. Like I looked over and I was like, huh. Oh, whoa. I was like, wow, their pictures are gonna.
Yeah.
Suck.
I saw a few expressions on their face too. In like they were doing wedding photography, just the two of them, and like going around the pond, and they'd be about to do something. The guy would point something out, and be like, "No, we could just move to another location." I'm sure she was just like, "Out of all the days, out of
Yeah.
all the
No,
days
that's-
for there to be an outdoor free comedy show,
You're ruining my marriage.
oh my fucking god!"
I want a
2020.
divorce, Johnny.
Yes, she just like sees the show and she's like,
You just
Fuck
see her
it.
throw down her
she
flowers.
just rips off her dress and walks out.
Just like double finger back.
Just, babe, come back, babe.
Megan.
Fuck Steve.
Megan.
Come on,
And
it's
whoever-
just a comedy show. No, yeah.
And whoever's on stage shows no pity. They're just like, "Oh, way to go there, bud."
Yeah, right.
Johnny really holding it together there, bud.
Yeah, you're one day in, you're already blown it. Should have at least cheated on her, you know?
Did you at least consummated or what?
Yeah, right.
No? Oof, you got fucked in that deal.
Sorry, bud. Shouldn't have been Mormon.
We're saving ourselves for this pond.
Oh my god. I always wanted to fuck on a lily pad.
Oh, that just reminded me of Drew's bit about him babysitting people's kids by like teaching
Oh,
them to
yeah.
drown themselves.
Oh, that was good.
funny.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was a good joke.
I was like, and after he came up, I was like, Drew will be giving free swimming lessons in the pond
Yeah.
after the show.
No, I think you said babysitting.
I did say
lessons.
babysitting
Yeah,
lessons
You're like
'cause,
giving babysitting lessons in
like
the pond.
in the pond because that's his bit was like, I just babysat your kids by teaching them to drown themselves. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then Pat went up again,
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, I liked both of his sets. I just thought he did it. There was a fuck.
I gotta watch him again.
I forget what the joke was, but he did a different, or he did like another joke that wasn't in the first one at all. He threw something else in there, and I forget what it
Well,
was.
his first set was more crowd work.
Yeah.
Like the first 10 minutes of it was probably crowd work the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's true.
I loved it. I loved it when he pointed out the motherfucker who looked like Ryan Gosling and The Rock had a baby. That perfect chiseled dude.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he just
yeah.
points him out in the crowd. He's just like, "Can we just stop this for a second? Look at how sexy this guy is."
Yeah.
I don't think he said
He was a
sexy,
big
but-
Hamson dude.
Yeah, he
He's
just
like, look
was
at that
just like,
jaw, like you can cut glass with that or something like
yeah,
that.
he was just like, "This isn't even a joke. We just have to recognize how handsome this guy is."
he by the way, I don't know if you saw his face, but he kind of like cracked a little smile. He's like,
like wasn't into
Like,
it.
yeah, I know.
He was. Well, I talked to him before the show. He was. Yeah, I can't place his accent, but he was foreign. It might have been
okay.
like South African or something like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, because he didn't sign in, and I'd go up to him and be like, "Hey, did you guys check in at the table? Like, please don't hurt me, but you have to leave." But they, some people didn't show up, and so they took their spots, is what
Oh,
ended up
yeah,
happening.
nice.
But I was like, we have this COVID regulations.
To whip out your Walter PPK and your death watch.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of PP, I have a PP. That man had a dick.
That guy.
That guy.
That guy had a dick.
Yes,
He had a fucking dick.
I had a little Willie. Him, a dick.
He had a dick.
Anyhow. But no, it was
Just to let everybody know, we examine everybody before they get into the
yes,
show.
that's part of the COVID regulations that we have to check everyone's dick before they get
yeah,
in.
like, do you have COVID? Let me touch your balls.
All right. Now look to the right.
Cough.
Sneeze. You just sneeze for me.
It's like, are you sure I don't cough?
Here's
no,
some, no, and then
sneeze.
then they're like, I can't sneeze. You just pelt them with pepper.
You just throw it in their like, that's my eye.
Pocket pepper.
Pocket pepper.
Two. Like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good, dude.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's a wrong shift there, buddy. You need to go to the hospital. You got the Rona.
Yeah, ooh, those nuts are swollen, sir. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Well, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind of, all these podcasts been running long. Been trying to keep them a little more manageable, a little more digestible. Let me just wrap her there. You guys got anything else you want to add about the show?
I love this town. And I love the supportive nature that comes out for all these shows.
so
We
awesome.
sell out
Yeah.
every show, and it means a lot to know that there's people who are just as hungry to be out and be doing art just like us.
Yeah.
Whether
awesome.
you're absorbing it or doing it.
I mean, we've done 3 Comedy in the Park shows. Each show is 2 shows, and all 6 shows sold out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there was a couple people that I noticed that were there at the. I wasn't there at the first one, so I don't know if they were there, but they were there at Comedy in the Park 2 and this one.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to some people who are actually really showing support and coming out and.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I hope he's listening. Zach De La Rocha with a blonde
Yeah,
fro.
yeah,
He
yeah.
comes every time. And he's a fucking champion.
Yeah.
That guy's a stud.
Yeah, that guy. Shout out to you and your significant other.
He put something on his Instagram story and tagged us, and I shared it for him. I was like, "Thanks for coming out, dude."
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah, that's a good dude.
hell yeah. Well, hopefully you listen, dude. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody else for giving a shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And speaking of giving a shit,
Mhm.
yeah, that works. So we have exciting things happening. One, open mic is coming back.
Woo!
Yep,
Hooray. I'm going to have more details on that in the next 24 hours. And also, it is official that our friends Sean Patton and Caitlin Cook from New York City are coming out for a show on the 17th.
New York City.
New York City? Yeah, and that's going to be awesome.
Gonna be amazing.
Very
if you
excited to see
if you're
Sean
listening
again.
and you don't know who either of those guys are, Google them. I
Yeah.
mean, Sean Patton's been on Comedy Central a bunch of times.
He was
And-
on like Party Legends on Vice.
Yeah.
Been on This Is Not Happening a couple times.
Yeah, he's also been on the Steamboat Comedy Podcast.
Also has been on
Probably
this
his
fucking-
crowning achievement. in
Most
his career.
likely.
Yeah, I mean,
Everything is kind of downhill from there, honestly. But and then also his talented girlfriend Caitlin Cook, who is rose to internet fame by doing a new comedy song every single day of quarantine.
yeah, it's up to like what 100 and
No, 2.
Oh,
Two.
is it 2? Well, God,
Fucking insane.
how long have we been in
Champion.
this
I
now, dude?
know.
Oh my God,
It's unreal to think about. What there was something that it was like the NFL draft, and I was like thinking about. I was like, oh yeah, that was like not normal. That was
God, time is just
It's insanity. But yeah, I was talking to her on the phone, like getting the flight details, and I was like, it's like, yeah, I bet you didn't think you'd have this many songs. And she's like, absolutely not. She's like, this is such a pain in the ass. Like she's been just like recording like 6 at a time, and she's like, I'm good for the week.
yeah.
Fuck.
Shit, that's what I would do too.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, all right, here, post them.
nobody knows the difference.
Yeah,
But no, it's awesome, and she's super funny and super talented, and they're both going to be here doing a show. Because of some of the rule changes, we don't exactly have all the details ironed out just yet, but the Snowball is 100% in.
yeah,
It's going to be there.
yeah. Bear with us on the
Yeah,
arrival of
just
news.
stay tuned. It's probably at least within the week, we'll have it debuted, and we'll start just hammering it, promoting it real
Yeah,
hard.
real hard.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening, and thanks everyone who came out, and stay tuned for more details, and that's it.
Later, y'all.
Stay safe, stay beautiful.
Rain or shine, it's here to make you laugh. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast.